Welcome to Curiosity Public. My name is Dutch.
My name is Jules.
I'm Pius Dillon.
Sure. We're going to use that sound effect. That's what we're going to use.
Oh, we're zooming in. We're like doing everything.
Welcome to yet another episode of our ultimate spirits competition, our quest to review every sipping spirit on the face of the planet and subject it to our crazy hard 100-point scoring system. And in this episode, have you guys ever heard of this tequila? Fortaleza? Fortaleza. That's right.
No, that's not the real name.
We're drinking Fortaleza Anejo, a.k.a. Los Abuelos, south of the border.
There we go.
But of course, there was some big trademark dispute or something like that when they first started to sell this in the United States. They couldn't use Los Abuelos, so they had to change it to Fortaleza. And I believe if you peel the labels off, you can actually see they have like a Los Abuelos on the glass underneath it, so it's kind of in there. I've never actually done that, but you can kind of see it through there. But anyway, let's take a quick look at the bottle. Look at this beautiful hand-blown glass. Fortaleza Anejo, NOM 1493. You can look at the lot number as well. That's kind of a nice thing that Fortaleza does. This is lot 68A. This is
handwritten.
A relatively new lot here, at least that we got in California. And Fortaleza's kind of blown up.
Kinda.
When we first started this channel
find it anymore.
4 years ago, felt like nobody knew what Fortaleza was.
It's everywhere.
And now it's just flying off the shelves, and we decided, maybe we should actually do a proper review of it. Let you guys know what we really think about it. Pass your glass down, Dylan, and tell us everything you know about Fortaleza.
Yeah, so I think the reason why Fortaleza got a lot of hype was because, number one, it was thought to be like one of the better, if not the best, additive-free tequilas long time ago. So I feel that nowadays, I think more additive-free tequilas have, kind of got this limelight, received a limelight, and so more people are aware of it. But at the time, it was kind of right in the middle. I mean, I think of this as almost like the Macallan of, the tequila world, where it's not the most bold flavors, right? It kind of, the wavelength is in the subtlety. The flavor profile is kind of mid. It doesn't have these like... But
on the earthy side, usually.
That's true. But it doesn't have like the bold, crazy flavors. It doesn't have like overwhelming cheese. It doesn't have overwhelming vegetal. It's kind of in the middle. And so I think it was not a surprise that it would pretty much get killed when you do blinds or when you do comparisons next to the cheeses and the vegetals and the bright, very, very sweet, bright flavors. So... it'd be interesting to do a kind of in-depth analysis here.
I agree. It's a very well-made tequila, very traditionally made.
Right.
I know we've talked about it in our drink through, and I think in some of our other, I think we reviewed the winter blend. But it's one of the ones that really, I think, first started to try to highlight that aspect of it, the traditional methods, and they were always very front and center in that movement. Yeah. And I remember when it started hitting the shelves here, and I just was like, wow, it was not very expensive. It was readily available, and I tried it, and I was like, wow, this is really, really good.
And I would say the Macallan analogy is apt because the pricing is overhyped.
Well, I would say more in line with Weller, because the MSRP hasn't really changed that much.
True.
The demand has caused markups in the way Weller has.
It sounds like it's going to go up.
Yeah, it may go up. But, the other thing we should note to our viewers is that they are expanding the distillery.
Right.
And, if you wait a year...
So hopefully there's more supply.
There's going to be more supply. You won't have to be paying so much, so, you don't need to be stocking up.
There's enough for everybody.
Don't pay secondary. Going rate for the Anejo?
I always get it for like $80.
It's closer to 90 now. I think we got this bottle for 95. 90,
I always use a $10 coupon, so...
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, if you I think that tends to be the regular list price these days, around $90, if you can find it.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about availability. Hard.
I mean,
not available.
At least like 2 days ago, I had 10 in front of me.
And you didn't buy them?
Well, they said I can only get 2, so I didn't get that. I got other stuff.
Yeah. Now, in some markets, we do hear that it's absolutely impossible to find. Southern California and California in general, still is pretty good selection of tequila out there. All right, you guys ready to get into this?
Man, I feel like it's good.
All right, well, let's score.
I mean, it operates in that like
Good enough.
right in the middle. It's just it just kind of does this, right?
That's good.
Right in the middle.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, that's a good nose.
It's a good nose. It's a good nose.
Yeah. Okay, we've had some time to taste. We've all scored it. We haven't discussed our scores. We haven't revealed our scores to each other. We're going to do that in a second. We're going to talk through every category. But first, Jules is going to tell you all about those categories and about our scoring system.
That's right. Thanks, Dutch. We have 100 points across 10 categories that include aroma, flavor, body, complexity, balance, finish, uniqueness, drinkability, aesthetics, and value. However, we weigh flavor at 20 points, and then aesthetics and value at 5 points each. You can medal in our competition if you get a 60 and up. You get a bronze, silver, gold, diamond.
All right, let's reveal our initial scores. My initial score, 82.
78.
84.
That's what I had originally.
Yeah.
No joke. I don't end up at that. But I
You will end up with
I may. I am so torn right now because I have so much nostalgia with this brand, and I enjoy drinking it so much. But then we need to break it down and really see if it's if the component parts are that good. So that's what we do here, and we're going to start with Aroma 9.
I gave it an 8, but I could be convinced to go to 9.
This might be my favorite part of this.
You know, every time
Drinking it is
You know what the problem is? I don't know if I should give it a higher score or a lower score because every time I nose it, I get something
else, right?
new.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Right? But
That's what I like
shouldn't
too.
we expect all of it to be provided every single time, right?
No, because the aroma, everything is always good,
Yeah.
and it keeps it
I
interesting.
mean, I give it
And you'll keep
points
nosing
in
it.
complexity, I guess. I could do it that way, but
I don't know. I think the nose is great. It's rich. It smells like an extra añejo to me.
Yeah.
That's why I really give it the points here.
all right, I'll give it a 9, bud.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's great. I wish it was just a little bit more intense. That would give it a 10 because I don't know what else I would ask for from a tequila nose, an añejo tequila nose. For an añejo to smell like an extra añejo, that's more than you could ask
But
for.
I would say, I mean, I was just drinking like, what, 3, 4, y 5? And it's like, that kind of extra añejo is just intense, right? It's really, really full.
That's the intensity that gets you to a 10 for me, though.
Yeah, if you smell that and then you smell this, like this will smell like nothing.
Yeah.
Because there's a subtlety component to it. I mean, I gave it a 9. I think it is.
It's a soft 9.
It's one of those things. Yeah, it's a soft.
Give it a 9?
No, give it an 8.
Like I think
It's a hard 8.
it's very, very, very
It's right
pleasant.
on there. It's
And it's very,
good.
very pleasant. But
That's
you know,
it.
the thing
Great.
is, every
And it's
time I
hitting a
nose it,
lot
I
of
get
great
something
notes.
new.
But what's the negative? Like, why? What's the negative on it?
I think it's just, it's like, for lack of a better phrase, it's like, it's not full enough body.
I disagree on that.
Yeah.
I
On
think
the
it actually
nose?
has that. I just think it lacks a little bit of the intensity. I got a
Isn't
lot
that
of
the same
it's-
thing though?
Yeah.
Like
No.
he's interpreting intensity with body.
body to me is how it coats.
the-
Like it smells luxurious to me. It's just not like loud enough.
I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying.
yeah, I'm
like
not sure about
you,
loud
you
enough,
want
you know what
you
I mean?
want a
Like-
hammer to your head, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot, there's
Yeah.
nothing much in here, actually.
Yeah, you gotta
so
shove it in your
you gotta,
nose.
like, really
Yeah.
throw it in my face.
shove it in your
For
nose.
me to get it.
But I went up because I felt like compared to all the other releases that use other barrels to bring that out, I feel like the agave is presented
nice.
in that very, very forward way. But then the problem is when you do that, you run the risk of getting buried by other releases that have barrel as the front flavor.
This has a lot
Right.
of barrel. This has a lot of barrel.
I don't know if it does.
But
I
it
think
has a lot of
more
agave.
of agave.
It has a lot of agave too.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It has. That's why it's a 9. It's really good.
I mean, I give it a 9.
Okay, moving on to flavor 17.
17.
I gave it an 18.
Yeah.
I was close.
I gave it an 18.
It's a strong 17.
Yeah.
All right, I wrote sweet, savory, salt. All 3.
I think what I wanted a
I was
little
getting
more.
saltiness.
I wanted more agave. There's a lot of sweet, and that may just be this batch or whatever. But I got a lot of brown sugars too,
Me too. Yeah.
and I think that's
a lot
why
of
the
brown
bourbon
sugars.
folk love this. There's a lot of the brown sugar, a lot of barrel influence on this. I just wanted a little more agave.
I got more salt.
I
on
was
this release.
I
got
actually wanted more brightness, and that's what I wasn't
Yeah,
getting.
it
out
was
of
all
this.
dark.
It was all exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there could be a little bit more of the floral.
Yeah, more.
And I
floral
think
would be nice.
the older batches, some of those will have
And-
that extra level of floral
we should
component.
specify there is a decent amount, not decent amount. There is batch variance.
True.
Flavor overall profile is going to be pretty much in line because the core distillate's all the same, but they'll use newer barrels, older barrels. There'll be blends, obviously. So every batch will be a little different. This one just really is a lot of barrel.
I feel like I got all three: sweet, savory, and salty. And so I gave it an 18. I just thought, but I get it. It doesn't have the kind of the end flavors. So
Yeah.
like more of the barrel's missing.
The core was brown sugar. The core wasn't
Core
agave.
was
And I think that's what I was missing. I needed the agave to be, and then maybe that's a balance issue, but like, I don't know.
Maybe.
To me, it really wasn't because, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it just felt flavor-wise, just felt missing. So,
Yeah, it just was
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it. All right, next category, body. 7.
I struggle with this.
I gave it a 7 too.
I gave it an 8, but I could be convinced.
I had an 8.
I could be convinced to go down.
Slightly thin.
It's a little thin, especially towards the last third.
Yes,
just-
especially
Alright,
on the finish.
I'll go down. I agree with you. I think it's not.
It's not hefty enough.
It's not hefty
Yeah, it
enough.
needs to be. It needs to be like I want that like
You want
rich.
Didn't
to
you go
coat.
down? Didn't you just go up?
Oh, you went up?
No, I went down.
Oh, you had an 85?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I had an 84. Because I had an 84 to start with. Oh, because you went up in aroma. Yeah, my bad. Cut that.
Cut that.
Yeah, I mean, so we all agree. It's just, it's good. It's just
there. It's right
It just
there.
needs to be a little bit thicker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But good. Good body, but not great. Next category. Complexity. 8.
8.
I give it an 8.
Yeah. It's really good. The key components are all there, but there wasn't...
Again, the bright was missing for me. And it was mostly on like the dark flavors. So
You know what I like about this? I think it's fun.
totally.
Yeah.
It's fun
It is
because
fun.
I can sit here and just kind of, hey, I got this flavor.
could
It's
pick
like,
at
what
it.
is this flavor?
You could
Let me
pick at
write
this
it.
forever. Yeah.
Let me think about it. Let me put a name to it. And so it was good. It was a good experience. It's not up there again because I don't get kind of the barrel component complexity that you see it in the extra añejos, and then you don't have like that floral or even like the bright sugary cactus candy or something like that. You don't have that kind of complexity on that side. So
All right. Next category, balance. I give it a 9.
I went back and forth on this.
Me too.
It went 8, 9, 8 right now.
You're at an 8?
I
ended up in an 8, but
Both of you guys 8.
convinced me to go to 9. Why?
It's hard to, because there's times where I think it's an 8, but this is another one of those where it's like the overall experience is well balanced, but any individual moment in time, you're hit with different things. But at the end
I
of the
think 'cause it's
experience,
like-
I'm like, that was great. I want another. And it was balanced.
Right.
And it's
I think it's because at least the flavor experience wise, I become compartmentalized in my track on it.
and
that's
the other thing is
where-
nothing is out of bounds.
Yeah,
either.
exactly.
Everything's
It doesn't go out of
always
bounds.
within these proper
within
limits.
it-
Like the spice is never too spicy.
Yeah.
The
No.
sweet is never too sweet.
Yep.
The
You're
agave, I wish was just a little louder. That's really what was keeping me down at a 9.
Yeah.
And I see the 8. It's a soft 9. I'll admit that.
I'll say the reason why I can't give it a 9 is because what I noticed again, it's like in the aroma, there's a slight variation. So if like these are
Yeah.
all like if this is the palette, right, of the palette, and you're just basically going down like
palette.
this, you're just going back and forth, I kind of want all of it at the same time so that I can enjoy the
Yeah.
like the gestalt,
That's
right?
that's exactly
And
what's.
so that's
what I was
I
trying to
gave
say,
it
yeah.
a less score because of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down to an 8. You guys are right. A 9 has to be.
Yeah, and the reason,
little
and then
better.
also another issue is that on the finish, you
We'll
can
get to-
kind of
we'll get
see
to
where
that.
that balance.
I
is
completely
also-
agree.
Yeah, so
But I only attributed that and finish, which let's just get to finish. 7.
I gave it an 8.
7.
I gave it an
I
8.
had an 8. I dropped it, and it was because I got a little bit of bitter spice at the end of the finish, just a
agree.
little bit.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'll
a
go
little
down.
bit. And
I'll go down to 7.
it's kind of medium to me, medium to short.
The length is not bad because I can still taste the long lingering flavors are really good. But there is something there where it's still trickling off the end of your palate that hits you with a little bite of bitterness.
Yeah.
Man, this is one of those like tricky parts because now I'm loving the body. Just like it's more of
like
the
there's no
heft,
mouthfeel.
though.
The mouthfeel. No, mouthfeel is like very like
It's not bad.
very velvety, right? And
Yeah.
just getting that, and so
Not that velvety.
yeah.
Next category, uniqueness, 8.
I give it an 8. Just because I had to
7.
choose a number.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same.
I would say
Bottle gets a lot of points.
yeah, but if we talked about this 10 years ago,
Yes.
I think I would be more confident in this number.
It'd be a 10.
It'd probably be a 9.
It'd be a 10,
I mean, the thing is,
dude.
like the idea of a.
But now there are other
a lot, yeah.
releases
There's
that
a lot.
you know.
But does that make this more unique? Because it was kind of the first. That
Makes it unique
Really put
because
it
of-
out there as like, hey, look at craft tequila. Like, we're a thing.
Yeah, but that's its history. If you compare it for today.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing.
I still think it stands up. And the flavors stand up.
But if it's one of the first, right?
It's still unique. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like we give credit to the legacy distillers for being
Hey,
the
right,
first.
all right, I'll go up.
What do you got?
At an 8.
So I got 8.
No, we're all 8s.
Yeah.
All right.
The crazy 8s.
All right, guys. Next category, drinkability. This was so interesting to me because the flaws of the finish ironically make it more drinkable because it makes you want to take your next sip even more. Because as it trails off and you get that touch of bitterness, you're like, oh, no, I want that sweet hit again. And like, it really improved the drinkability for me. I ended up at a 9.
Whoa. Okay. I give it an 8.
I gave it a 10, but then I don't think it is perfect. I think
It's really good.
it's really
good.
close.
I don't know that
but
it's a 10, but
I don't
yeah,
think
I don't
it's a
think
10
it's a 10.
because
It's very drinkable.
the reason I say I did a 10 is because at any point, if you poured this for me,
Yeah.
I'm down. I don't care if it's 7 a.m. or 7 p.m.
And give me another.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
you
gonna
go
have
back
another.
to it. Like, there's no reason
Perfect,
not
bro.
to. But no, this is drinkability. It has nothing to do with the actual.
Yeah, we're all going to go back to this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When we finish, if we were not filming today,
like
we would
if
have
I-
another glass.
The,
out
the
and we
reason,
would.
the reason, like a 9 tells me there's hesitation, right? Like I have a doubt.
No, 9 is still really
I mean, like,
good.
No,
Good.
9 is you have a little bit of a doubt that you would not go back to this for
that's
some
8.
reason. There has to be a scenario in
That's
which you
8.
say somebody hands you the Fortaleza, right? Anejo. 9 to me is there is within a realm of possibility a theoretical scenario where you would say, I think I will hold off for today,
Not me.
right?
I'm
10
not a
to me
9.
is anytime
That's not
you give it to
fair.
me,
No.
I'll just.
That's not
It is a
fair.
fair
That's
because
not
I'm
fair.
saying
That's
it.
not a fair.
This is stupid. That's not a fair. What does that mean?
Why are we saying a fair?
It's not
Okay,
fair.
look, I
Well, no, because it's like if you hadn't already poured it to me, that's a different story. You haven't already poured it. You're offering you, here's an empty glass, here's a bottle of Fortaleza, would you like one? Yeah, there's some days where I'm like, oh no, I want to grab a pour of that Ocho instead.
Exactly.
It's not a 10 because
It's
it
not.
may not necessarily always be what I'm going to get a pour of if that's on the bar shelf. Like there are other bottles, if this was next to it, I'd be like 50-50.
Exactly.
And that's why it's not a
but
10.
what would be a 10 though then?
Tears.
Going back.
Tres Cuatro Cinco. Like those
Okay,
are
fine. All right.
This is
fine.
really
Okay,
close.
okay.
I mean, it's really good. I even think
Fine,
the
I'll go
8 is
down.
not out of bounds for Jules. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of a soft 9.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, if
literally
it's
what
not-
you're saying.
if
Like,
there's not-
I was just thinking about if I'm going to the shelf, it's a 50-50 chance I'm going to grab this.
No, to me, if there's even
It's a good problem.
a
It's a good-
little
yeah.
bit of a doubt, it cannot get a perfect.
It can't get it.
You have
You're
to-
right. You're right on that for sure. It's definitely not a 10. And I see the 8. I'm not going to
Yeah.
try to argue you up because I think you're right. Okay, guys. We're done with the flavor aspects of this. That was a fun discussion. Let's move on to aesthetics and value. Aesthetics, 5.
5.
No
It's
question.
iconic.
Dude,
Iconic
it's
bottle.
It's there for a long
Beautiful
time.
bottle. It's got this
Hidden
thing
glass, come
on the
on.
top. I mean, how can you go
Yeah.
wrong with the, these little trimmed agave?
You can
out there?
eyeball that from like really.
I was
far.
like sad 0.16 second when the thing collapsed.
When your shelf broke.
Yeah. And
Yeah. The only downside is the hand blown glass bottles are fairly fragile. So be extra careful with these if you're.
although I heard, didn't they go back? Didn't
Yeah, I've heard they've gone back to, but it's hard to tell. Like sometimes you can see the imperfections. This one actually looks really
Or
good.
just throw it on the wall and see if it.
This is not.
I'm still laughing at that 0.16 seconds. For Dylan, that's a lifetime. That's
You know, that reminds me. It's like when Data was like.
what I'm talking about. Like, it's like
For me, that's a lifetime.
oh god.
All right, guys. Final
Motion
category.
chip off.
Motion chip off. Final category. Value. I give it a 3.
I gave it a 3, but I'm gonna go down.
I struggled on this. I actually started with a 2. I ended at a 3.
At $90, I think it's a fair 3.
Yeah.
In the markups, it's not.
No.
It's
That's
probably.
why
And
you have
that's
to take
why.
into account
We got this
market.
bottle for $90. I haven't
Yeah,
had
you
that much trouble.
Availability.
Yeah,
So I'm going down. Sorry.
but that's going to be changing. We know that's going to be changing.
But is it worth the 100 for an Anejo?
I think it
Is
is
it worth-
I think in the modern tequila market,
Today's
90 to
prices?
$100 for a really good Anejo is not surprising anymore. I mean, look
Yeah.
at Cascanes, look at
Fine, I'll
Atanasio.
back up.
I mean, there are really good things that are cheaper, and that's why it's not any higher than a 3.
Right,
Like
yeah,
you got Ocho.
no.
Ocho's $60, $70.
It is, and it's climbing.
And it is climbing. And that's
is
what I mean. I
climbing.
feel like this is not going to be uncommon in a
Okay,
year.
let me ask you. I mean, like right now, we think that this is gonna go 120 pretty soon.
Yeah, it may.
Would you pay that still? Is that still a 3?
Well, it's hard to ask us that because I have a couple of bottles in the bunker. If I didn't have any and I really liked Fortaleza,
No. But this is for our viewer, right?
Yeah,
Our
I
viewers
know.
out there, they don't
what I'm
have
saying.
it. They're like, oh, we're telling you this is a 82,
The viewers have it.
right? And you go, okay, is it worth driving 3 hours
no,
to go purchase this for $120?
no. That's why it's a 3.
Or waiting.
A 3 tells me that this is
Wait.
good, and if you have the money to spend on it and you don't already have it or you haven't tried it, it might be worth it to do it. But if you're really budget conscious, you're not going to be buying a bunch of 3s. You're going to wait for the 5 and the 4 in value.
All right.
But it's still very good. It's better than some of the other $100 Aneos.
Definitely.
All right. Good job.
So
And it's still sub 100.
yeah, at least we were able to get it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get our final tallies and our final score for Fortaleza Anejo. My final score, 81.
79.
Market correction, 82.
Wow. Which gives us our official Curiosity Public score for Fortaleza Anejo. It
Did it
is
stay gold?
an 80.
Oh.
80.666666666.
It's a gold.
And of course, we round down on the Curiosity Public Ultimate Spirits Competition.
That's right.
Because this is the hardest spirits competition in the world.
No freebies.
No freebies. It barely gets a gold medal, but well done to Fortaleza.
They got it, though.
I recommend people check out our Fortaleza drink through and check out the blinds we've done with Fortaleza because, spoiler alert, it didn't win a single one. But it's still very good tequila. There's no way around that. It's very tasty. And that's all I got. Jules, take us out.
Tell us what you guys think in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. Either way, let us know how you feel. Subscribe for more videos from Curiosity Public. If you want to help us out, please consider joining Curiosity Private membership program on YouTube and Patreon. We are also selling t-shirts. You can grab one of these bad boys. Links in the description. And we have a podcast on the major players. As always, stay safe, stay healthy.
Stay curious.
You need to say that all in Spanish.
Yeah, can you say that all in
And not with like a freaking accent, okay?
I'm going to
I would say it
make
like
that
that.
loud.
No, because I was
Yeah, why-
watching.
why are you
I was
whispering,
watching.
Dylan?
I was watching I wasn't watching. Like I accidentally
eyes weren't
clicked.
open?
No, I accidentally clicked on a YouTube show, and they were like,
Accidentally.
they were pronouncing a particular bottle, and it was like painful to hear.
So
I think I know what you clicked on.
Yeah, it was so bad. It was so bad. And I go, you should not be reviewing tequila.
Was that the...
So,
it was, wasn't it?
so bad.
Oops.